IUPUI. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Purdue-Fort Wayne Women's Volleyball. I'm Mike Maz, and I'm joined by the men's head coach for volleyball here at the university, Ryan Perrott. And first and foremost, Rock, it's great to have you back in town, and great to have you sitting alongside.
Happy New Year, Michael. It's great to be back.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, this is a backyard brawl, so to speak. IUPUI and Purdue-Fort Wayne, 50th meeting all time between the two schools. Last year, the two teams met down in the jungle in Indianapolis, and then you and I were there.
Yeah.
And it was not a good night for the Mastodons. They lost in straight sets, so they're looking for some better things tonight. And both of these teams coming off weekend trips. Purdue-Fort Wayne out to San Francisco, California, and IUPUI to Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, the thing about Purdue-Fort Wayne, however, Michael, they're on a good high for the fact that they came back from 2-0 down against UC Riverside and won a thrilling match in San Francisco. So they're feeling good about themselves coming off of that. They had lost 11 straight sets going into that third set there against UC Riverside, and then come back with a win is huge, especially with momentum and confidence. And I think the same thing applies for IUPUI. I think both of these teams early on in the season is still looking to form an identity. Of course, a new coaching staff over at IUPUI after Coach Payne's departure. So they're just trying to build in a new culture, build in some new systems. And I think both teams, the early part of the season, Michael, it's showing in terms of the way that they're playing, trying to find that identity.
We are in the warm-up period, the alternating 5-minute warm-up periods between these two schools. We'll take our first time out, and when we come back, pre-match chat with Mastodon head coach Steve Florio. Again, it's the Mastodons and the Jaguars from Arnie Ball Court, and we're back in just a moment.
Mayor has rabies. A friend just posted it.
OMG. Dog bite?
It was a possum bite. She got in a fight.
And she's got the rickets. I read in the paper that she had twin babies.
Babies. That makes sense.
The news you need is responsibly and professionally reported. Your newspaper, where news truly matters.
Trust the Journal-Gazette. For home delivery, call 461-8519. Available at newsstands everywhere.
In its fourth decade, the Summit League continues its ascent through excellence in the classroom and success in the field of play. In cities big and small, at public and private universities, more than 120,000 students across 9 institutions reach for the Summit. From academic All-Americans to NCAA champions and nationally ranked teams, Summit League student athletes achieve the pinnacle of success. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Lutheran Health Network pre-match show. MIVA postseason tournament quarterfinal match between the Purdue-Fort Wayne Mastodons. Welcome back, everybody. We apologize, some little technical difficulties. For some unknown reason, all of a sudden, the interview I had with head coach Steve Florio is not coming through on the system, so we apologize for that. So we will bring it back here. And I can paraphrase a little bit about what Steve talked about. It was an exciting trip for the team, and You mentioned they hadn't done anything like this going a long ways away from campus outside of conference play in quite some time. And they decided that they would go out west. And they played 3 matches against Nevada, the University of San Francisco, the host school, and UC Riverside. And I'm bringing Ryan Perrott back in to the conversation. And you mentioned, Rock, they were they being the Mastodons, in a bit of a funk, having lost 11 sets in a row. They lost to both San Francisco and Nevada in straight sets. But Steve said they found something in that little break, that 5-minute break between sets 2 and 3 against UC Riverside. They lost the second set 25-23, and they rallied, and they came back, and they won the third set by a score of 25-23. They won the fourth set 29-17, and they won the deciding fifth set 16-14. So they found another gear, and they pulled out the win.
It's crazy about momentum in volleyball. They beat Ball State in that exhibition match here at the Gates Center. When they were down 2-0, they came back to win in 5. And I was talking to Coach Florio yesterday, and he said that kind of gave us a little bit of false security because they beat Ball State. And then to come back the following weekend at that home tournament, they lost to Western Michigan in 5, because had they beaten Western Michigan, after that they played South Alabama. They beat South Alabama. They could have started the year unofficially 3-0. The exhibition obviously doesn't count, but at least 2-0 officially. That would have propelled, I think, the team. And this being a young volleyball team, there are a lot of new faces for the Mastodons. I just think that would have put them into the clouds going into that trip to San Francisco. But because they were still trying to figure out how to win, and that's the thing about a young volleyball team. I know firsthand, Michael, from 5 years ago, with young teams, it's about figuring out how to win. That's what IUPUI is going through too. And they've had a tough schedule with Valpo and Lipscomb, which is a very, very good volleyball team. It's about learning how to win. And that's what both of these teams are trying to figure out during their non-conference play before they get into conference action.
And we also mentioned IUPUI for a number of years was a member of the Summit League, so these teams used to meet on an annual basis. The series began back in 1978. And Purdue-Fort Wayne won 3 of the first 4, 4 of the first 6, and 7 of the first 10 matches. But lately it's been the other way. In fact, IUPUI had a string of 6 matches in a row snapped back in November of 2016 here in Fort Wayne. And then in 2017, again, it was the Mastodons coming out 3-0. And then last year down in Indianapolis, Jaguars turned it around. But in conference play, and I'll say that somewhat loosely because in Summit League play, they were 10-10 against each other. Here at home, Purdue-Fort Wayne leads the series 16 wins to 6, and down in Indianapolis, it's 15-7 in favor of IUPUI. So home court does mean something.
And Coach Florio vividly, because he talked about it today, vividly remembers the match last year down in Indianapolis. They lost the first 2 sets in overtime.
Yes.
They did not play well at all. A lot of mental errors. It was sloppy volleyball on their part, and IUPUI made them pay on their mistakes. So it'll be very, very interesting to hear perhaps the pre-match speech that Coach Florio gave to his team going into tonight's contest.
Yeah, we don't have we're not privy to that little chat. Maybe you'll tell us a little bit in our post-match chat. But this is a team that looks right now loose on the floor. And hopefully, I know you want that for your men's volleyball team to be loose, be themselves, and then let their talents take their as far as they can go. I think Steve's looking for the same thing here with his women's team.
Well, you have to be loose. I mean, this is an opportunity to get better. His motto, at least for the last couple of weeks, is trying to push the needle. He wants to see his team incrementally get better in certain areas, especially in their serve-receive game and their offensive efficiency. So, yeah, they need to be loose. Everybody prepares differently. Everybody looks differently. There's no such thing as a game face. Nobody knows what that is. Sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's loosey-goosey with smiles. And that's the way that it needs to be going into this contest, especially against one of your good rivals with the IUPUI Jaguars.
Well, we will take one final break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the, we'll talk a little bit more. We're going to hold off the starting lineups because this is also a special night academic-wise here at Purdue Fort Wayne. So we'll talk about that when we return, as this is the Lutheran Health Network pre-match show, and this is Purdue Fort Wayne Women's Volleyball on YouTube.
Find your path and empower your future at Purdue University Fort Wayne. Seize opportunity with small classes, top faculty, and a degree that moves you forward. Experience everything and become anything with an education as unique as you are. Explore our degree programs and learn more about important application information by visiting pfw.edu/future. We are Purdue University Fort Wayne, and this is an education with purpose.
When it comes to breast health, early detection is key. At Lutheran Health Network, we offer mammography services at 9 convenient imaging locations throughout the region. Many locations offer 3D mammograms. No referral necessary. To learn more and schedule your mammogram, visit lutheranhealth.net/mammography. That's life, powered by Lutheran.
Back here courtside at Arnie Ball Court. Rock, we mentioned, there's a women's volleyball match here tonight, but it's also academic recognition night. And we have to remember that these are student athletes and not just athletes playing at a university. They have to hit the books. They have to go to class when at all possible. And a couple of teams are going to be honored for their work in the classroom. As Christine Kuznar, who runs the MAPS program, gets to hand off a couple of nice pieces of hardware.
Well, I know who won it a year ago, Michael.
Yes, sir.
For the spring of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That was the men's volleyball team. But Mike,
they didn't win it this year.
Not this year, but we did get the year one, though, which I'm really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Just another point of emphasis on that, Michael. 14 now straight years of a 3.0 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Cumulative grade point average of a 3.0 or higher for the department. That is absolutely outstanding and mind-blowing when you think about it, with all the responsibilities, all the duties, all the extra that student athletes do on a daily and regular basis. It is absolutely a tremendous achievement. And to have a department, and obviously as we recognize the women's soccer team and the track team,
mm-hmm.
It's just outstanding to know that both of these two programs led the way for a department with a 3.0 higher grade point average.
And it is mind-boggling, and I think you and I both remember when former athletic director Mark Pope came up with this idea. He said, we've got to show the public that these are not just athletes, but they have to hit the books and to be eligible.
And the majority of athletes are that, Michael, because they understand it doesn't matter what sport you play. You can't play the sport without going to school. And the majority of student athletes across this country understand that. They take that to heart. They give their very, very best effort, not just on the field or on the pitch or on the court,
mm-hmm.
But they also do it in the classroom. And it just speaks volumes to how precious and how special student athletes are.
And right now the women's soccer team is about to get a picture or two taken.
Head coach Jason Burr, as they're going to have a big weekend. Not only do they have a great celebration here that they have the highest spring GPA of 2019, but this Friday, the party at the pitch, Michael, at Hefner Fields, with men's soccer going on at 5 p.m. and then women's soccer to follow at 7 p.m., a doubleheader. I'm going to be there, party at the pitch. You going to be there, Michael?
You know, you may talk me into it.
All right.
I'll tell you that. And thanks to some little help to our left, The men's cross-country team's GPA in the spring of 2019 was 3.68.
Phenomenal.
And the women's soccer team's GPA in the spring of 2019 was 3.60 on a 4-point scale. That's simply outstanding.
And I beg your pardon, I said track earlier. I meant cross-country. I beg your pardon
Well,
about that.
it's an offshoot.
It's a tremendous honor. Christine Kuznar, who oversees our MAP Center. Hi, Christine. How are you? Good to see you. Congratulations, Christine. 14 straight years, is that correct, with a 3.0 or higher? 16. I stand corrected. 16. Christine does a great job.
Yes, she does. And
Jason Burr says he wants to come on in between sets 2 and 3 and talk to you, Michael.
If
you want to do that?
We have 5 minutes, so yeah, we can bring him on.
Party at the pitch, Michael.
Well, we will step aside for the national anthem when we come back, starting lineups in the opening serve, as this is Purdue Fort Wayne women's volleyball on YouTube.
So are you going home this weekend? Oh, yeah. So who's your ride?
Who's your ride?
No, but who's your ride?
Who's your ride?
When someone asks, who's your ride? Who's your ride? Now providing fast, comfortable daily service into Indianapolis and on to anywhere across the nation. Log on to who'syourride.com for tickets and route schedules or call 1-800-544-2383. Who's your ride? Who's your ride?
All across America, people are making the move to improve their TV and internet service by dropping satellite and switching to Xfinity, like Michelle and Martin.
The reason we left satellite was because they couldn't offer a really good internet package.
And now that you've switched?
The Xfinity internet service has been outstanding. It's been really fast, it's been very reliable. The streaming, the video is great.
I love Xfinity On Demand because there's a lot more options for my kids to watch.
What about the customer service?
Comcast customer service has improved a lot over the last few years. And the appointment windows are a lot shorter. It really helps our schedules.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Martin. We weren't happy with satellite, so we switched to Xfinity.
Join the move to improve and try us risk-free for 30 days. Get started with Xfinity TV from Comcast for just $19.99 a month for a year. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Offer ends 12/31/14. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Limited to digital economy TV for new residential customers. Equipment, taxes, and fees, including broadcast TV fee extra. Subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Call 1-800-XFINITY for details.
Welcome back, everybody, to Arnie Ball Court. Time now to bring you tonight's starting lineups. And our starting lineups are brought to you by Evans Toyota. Start your life in a 2019 Toyota Camry today. For the visiting Jaguars of IUPUI, again 1-4 on the young 2019 season. The libero is Rachel Hickey, a 5'4" sophomore from Mishawaka, Indiana. On the outside, Michaela Wright, a 5'8" senior from Concordia Lutheran High School here in Fort Wayne. The center is Rebecca Schlechte, a 5'10" junior from Strasburg, Illinois. In the middle, Haley Hoffman, a 6'2" senior from Monroeville, Indiana, Heritage High School, just down the street, literally. On the outside is Maddie Dean, a 5'11" junior from Indianapolis. Also on the outside, Ellie Pogue, a 5'11" freshman from Evansville, Indiana. And also starting tonight, Clarissa Remter, a 6'2" freshman from Covington, Indiana. The head coach is Lindsay Froelich, and she is assisted by Morgan Salo. Rachel Krumrin is a student manager. Now the starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard, the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons. The libero is Rachel Cruces, a 5'2" freshman from Brunswick, Ohio. The center is Maddie Gates, a 5'9" sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan. On the outside, Liz First, a 6' senior from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Also on the outside, Katie Crow, who leads the team in kills. Katie, a 5'10" junior from Leo, Indiana. In the middle, Sandra Huvels, a 6' senior from Rhein, Germany. In the middle, Sydney Borst, a 6' junior from Sylvania, Ohio. And on the outside, Maddie Worster, a 6'3" sophomore from Bern, Indiana. The head coach is Steve Florio in year number 6 at the helm. His record is 65 and 100, assisted by Casper Fulloff, and Mitch Baumgartner is the graduate assistant coach. Our officials tonight, the up official is Rod Rodriguez, the down official is George Calton, if I pronounce that correctly. In the opening set, Purdue-Fort Wayne going from right to left, the exception of the libero. White jerseys, black numbers trimmed in gold front and back, Purdue in gold across the front, Fort Wayne in black across the front, black shorts with white numbers. IUPUI wearing red jerseys with white trim, white numbers front and back, IUPUI in white across the front. They're also wearing black shorts. Jaguars won the toss. They'll serve first going left to right. And it is Rebecca Schlechte, their setter, with the serve, and we are underway. Right off the bat, Maddie Worcester denied, but putting it home is Liz first, 1-0 Purdue-Fort Wayne.
Purdue-Fort Wayne received in rotation 2. IUPUI started in rotation 1. Their setter is right back. 3 attackers across the front line in both sides.
The libero, Rachel Cruces from the right corner, a little pop-up serve. Schlechte will stay on the right side. And off the touch, Maddie Dean, their 5'11 junior from Lawrence North High School, picks up the kill. And we're tied 1-1.
Second most attempts on the team, Maddie Dean. I think you're going to look to see a lot of pin action from IUPUI tonight. That's where their strengths lie. But if they can pass the ball, they need to run a little bit more middle to keep the balance there.
What a save by Schlechte, one-arm dig. Worcester pounds it home from the right side. 2-1 Mastodons.
Modified 16 now with the double sub.
And coming in to serve, Maddie Nell, a 5'9 freshman from Haskins, Ohio.
Really good hands, Michael. I've seen her in practice.
We saw her in the exhibition match against Ball State, and a pretty good serve. Unreturnable.
And then Sydney Schiller checked into the front line. She checked in for Maddie Gates. It's a modified 6-2. 6 attackers, 2 setters, but it's modified because of the sub rule. If there were no subs, it would just be a pure 6-2, where both setters would stay on the floor at the same time.
Sydney Schiller, by the way, a 6-foot freshman from Battle Creek, Michigan. Deep serve. Schlechte will go to the left. A little touch shot by Michaela Wright, the former Concordia cadet.
And the surprise player thus far of the year for the Jaguars. Most attempts on the team at that with 210, and the highest hitting percentage at 22%.
Carissa Remter with the serve for IUPUI. Tried to get a dig off a nice swing by Schiller, but to no avail. It is 4-2 Purdue-Fort Wayne on top here in the opening set. We played a 25, win by 2. And Liz first with the serve.
That's what IUPUI is going to have to do, is try a little bit in the middle. Haley Hoffman, beautiful cut shot, 6'2 freshman.
Taking advantage of that size.
But it's all predicated upon the first contact. That is going to be key for both sides and their offensive efficiency.
Reagan Trueblood, a 5'9 freshman from Plainfield, Illinois, to serve for IUPUI, but Sydney Bohr said, next to that, she pounds one home from the front middle of the net.
It's real simple. You know your team is passing well when you can run the middle. Sydney Bohr, another high efficiency, over 300 again so far early on this season.
Serving from the back left corner. Nice dig by Katie Crow. Right side for Schiller. Kept alive nicely by Michaela Wright. Long rally, Crow over a double block off the touch with the kill. 6-3 Mastodons.
Good transition by Purdue-Fort Wayne. Good clean first contact. 3 attackers along the front row. Pick your poison that time. Katie Crow able to put the ball away.
Sydney Bohr serving has yet to come up with a service ace this season. Oh, what a block at the net. Schiller and Huvels tag teamed it. It's a 4-point lead, 7-3 for Purdue-Fort Wayne.
Huvels for Purdue-Fort Wayne has done a really nice job at the net defensively all season long.
Forced again from the left corner, received by Wright. Almost a tremendous dig. Great effort by Liz first after it ricocheted. So give the point to IUPUI, trailing 7-4. And it is Michaela Wright with the serve. Huvels, the senior from Rhein, Germany, with a strong right arm.
A lot of good attacks coming out of the middle so far for Purdue Fort Wayne. One-on-one blocking. The Jaguars are going to have to make an adjustment on a good pass. They might want to think about committing.
Maddie Gates, the sophomore setter from Grand Rapids, little punch serve right in the backcourt, receives it. Nice dig in the backcourt by First, a miss hit by Katie Crow. And the Jaguars pick up the point, now trailing the set 8-5.
It's a bad unforced there, but I couldn't tell if the set was pushed out too far or if Katie was just trying to go too sharp that time, but that ball needs to be put down to the floor.
Rachel Hickey to Libero with a deep serve. Crow swing rejected at the net. First beyond the 3-meter line is dug out. Caitlin Johnson on the floor, now ball hitting the antenna. Point goes to Purdue Fort Wayne.
Caitlin Johnson's attack went above the antenna. I don't think it touched it, Michael. I think it went above it. But, and there's no argument really from Miss Johnson, so even she believes that when she attacked the ball, the ball must be attacked in between the antennas. Anything above it or to the outside of it is out of play.
Katie Crow, the junior from Leo, has 5 serve assists coming into the match, and wow.
Well, that ball didn't touch the antenna. Into that.
Little windmill swing by Caitlin Johnson.
Looked like Aaron Johnson that time, up high, down hard.
9-6, Mastodon's on top. IUPUI with the serve, and it'll be Rebecca Schlechte. Again, their 5'10 junior setter out of Strasburg, Illinois. Received by First. Gates setting up Huvels. Nice running dig by Wright. Early poke swing dug out by Maddie Gates. Nice block at the net by Remter. Katie Crow just pushed it over the net. And lo and behold, nobody was home.
Nobody there. But finally, a touch in the middle for the Jaguars that they were able to elongate that point play. They're going to have to try and slow Purdue Fort Wayne down. They want to run as a lot of middle as possible.
Rachel Cruces starts the second rotation of serves for the Mastodons. Nice block at the net. Forced and long on the return by IUPUI. Our score is 11-6. Purdue Fort Wayne on top. First set of our best-of-5 match. Rachel Cruces, the 5'2 freshman libero from Ohio with the serve. Maddie Dean gets it across. Katie Crow throws it up. And a little tip shot by Liz First.
Serve receive breaking down for the Jaguars. Not able to pass the ball somewhere high into the center of the floor.
Largest lead thus far by Purdue Fort Wayne, 6, leading at 12-6 in this first set. More of a line drive serve. A nice block by Worcester and Borst combining. Nice dig by Cruces. Worcester with a little help goes just a touch long.
What a cover by Rachel Hickey, the libero for IUPUI. Beautiful cover off the block by Purdue Fort Wayne to keep that rally alive and eventually causing the attack error by Purdue Fort Wayne.
Maddie Dean to serve for IUPUI. Crow receives it. Gates for Borst, denied at the net. Borst again gets it over. Oh, wow, pounding it home was Carissa Remter. One of 2 Jaguars who stand 6 feet 2 inches tall. Haley Hoffman the other.
2 shots by Remter deep into the corners. Beautifully done. But again, another touch in the middle. That's what sets it up. So the Jaguars have made a little bit of an adjustment there, a little bit more keen, as they know the Mastodons are running the quick set.
Again,
tough serve. Wow.
And it's now 12-9. IUPUI closing to within 3.
That had high velocity on that one. That was a semi-hybrid there, half float, half topspin.
Dean. First. Oh. Great effort by Hickey to Libero, but it went dead right into the scorer's table.
That's a really good swing there by Liz First. You get aced. You want the next ball. She does, and she cranks one for her kill.
Maddie Nell again, the 5'9" freshman, comes off the bench to serve. Mastodon's going from right to left here in the opening set. Schlechte setting up Renter.
Another kill by Renter. If the teams can pass the ball, the middle is where the action is going to be, Michael. It'll open up a lot in terms of the offenses of both of these teams.
Renter serving deep. Throw in the backcourt, receives. Right side first, dug out by Schlechte. Off the touch. Ellie Pogue with the kill.
Something early to notice, the Jaguars have had a ton of success attacking the right side, the Mastodon's left side of the court.
Rempter again with the serve. She's got 7 service aces coming into this match. Picks up a dig off the swing by Schiller. Crow digs it up.
Trouble.
Yeah, it came too close to the net. And don't look now, it's a 1-point set, and Steve Florio wants to talk things over. Cost the first of his 2 allotted timeouts in this set. Our score, Purdue Fort Wayne 13, IUPUI 12. And you got to give credit to the Jaguars. They were down 7-3, they were down 9-5, they were down 12-6. But since then, they've gone on a 6-1 run.
Well, they've steadied the ship. Michael, slow start, trying to get their legs underneath them, trying to get that feel. They're on the road. They're just trying to steady the ship. They have done that. They've made a really good push here. The attacking and the quick, they've made the adjustment against the Mastodons. They're starting to touch balls in the middle. They're also running the middle. But what I've noticed early on, through 25 points, the Jaguars are scoring at a perfect rate on their right side of the floor, Mastodon's left side of the floor.
So what does Purdue Fort Wayne do to counter that?
They've got to make a better adjustment in terms of their blocking assignment when they're blocking to their left and the defense rotating to their right. The Mastodons have got to go back to passing the ball and still running the middle as much as they possibly can. Maybe perhaps not the one ball, maybe they want to spread things out, run a little bit of a gap or a 3-set.
Carissa Rempter with the serve, a deep serve, almost an overpass on the receive, and a lift I think is going to be called. And now we're tied at 13 apiece.
Tight pass. This is what Coach Florio had his concerns about. Can they maintain a high passing percentage? That's tight again.
Yeah.
And she's a back row player, Maddie Nell, coming out of the back line. She cannot play the ball over the net when she jumps to sets. She's a back row attack.
And all of a sudden, it's IUPUI on top, 14-13. Again, they are right now on an 8-1 run. Now we'll set up Schiller over a double block, the touch shot. Oh, Schlechte gets it back over. Schlechte will go to her left for Michaela Wright. Nice dig by Cruces, the libero. Crow at the 3-meter line. Dug out by Rempter. A long rally. Nice left-hand dig by First. Schiller rejected at the net by Haley Hoffman. Dink shot. Oh, longest rally of the match. Dean with the dig. Wright kept alive by Boris Crow. Oh, nice dig by Rempter in the backcourt, and onward we play. Who wants the point? Off the touch, Sydney Borst wants the point, and we're tied at 14.
Best rally of the match so far. Great defense, both sides, and then finally making them pay. Sydney Borst in the middle.
14-14, Liz First, the senior from suburban Chicago with the serve. Hickey to receive deep in the backcourt.
Again, the block is too far out. You've got to maneuver the block and make the adjustment. I know a couple of balls were hit down the line early, especially by Johnson. You've got to make the attacker hit the ball down the line that time.
Reagan Trueblood off the bench to serve for the Jaguars, now up 15-14 here in the first set. Pretty good serve.
Its serving has picked up, Michael. IUPUI's float serving and jump float serving has picked up. There's no spin on that ball. That thing is coming with some heavy, heavy heat and no spin whatsoever. And it is handcuffing the Mastodons.
Right now, believe it or not, Purdue Fort Wayne hitting 276, IUPUI 250. 10-9, the advantage in kills for Purdue Fort Wayne.
And Purdue Fort Wayne currently is in rotation 5, but because of the 6-2, they're in rotation 2, so they can only have the 2 passes here. Sydney Boyce might back up and pass a little bit for the middle position.
And a deep serve. Cruz is unable to receive it clearly.
See, Boyce doesn't do a lot of passing. She's not a primary passer. She's just in there for an extra body to guard a little bit of an area. So now there are 4 passers working the floor for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Trueblood continues to serve. Crow, finally off the touch. Katie Crow comes up with the kill, her 3rd of the match. 17-15 our first set score. IUPUI on top. Sydney Moore serving for Purdue Fort Wayne. At the net, down with the dig. Schiller at the 3-meter line, dug out by Maddie Dean. Little touch shot. Again a dig. Oh, tough angle.
Set us out. Set us out. Stay wide.
Play continues. Left side, Crow. Yes. Rock, we heard Steve Florio saying it's out, it's out.
No, he was calling setter out because the setter for IUPUI played the first ball on the dig, therefore no tempo coming out of the second ball. It's got to go high to the pins.
Michaela Wright dug out by Crow. Schiller over a double block, and that's rejected. Tough angle. Michaela Wright digs it out for IUPUI, gets it back, and play. It'll be a point for Purdue Fort Wayne, but you had Houvels and Schiller just watching the ball to see if it was going to be in or out.
That's a tough play. It's coming right over the antenna. Out of bounds, we're tied at 17.
3 Mastodon points in a row. Trueblood to the right side. Oh, nice dig by Borscht. Crow off the touch, off the arm of Caitlin Johnson.
There you see Purdue Fort Wayne got the touch on the backslide. Their left side, the Jaguars' right side. Once you get the touch, the defense is there in order to play the ball. Good transition, good tempo to Crow on the left for the kill.
Purdue Fort Wayne on a 4-0 run, leading the set now 18-17. Right with the receive. Nice dig by Liz first. Right to center. Schlechte, the center, attacks. Catching Purdue Fort Wayne off guard.
And the first time to do it late in the set, beautifully disguised by Rebecca Schlechte.
18-18 our first set score. Michaela Wright, again the 5'8 senior from Concordia Lutheran High School right here in Fort Wayne, serving for IUPUI. Now we're ready to go. Just over the net, throw to receive. Houvels dug out by Hickey, the libero.
That's perfect transition.
Haley Hoffman again using her size.
Hoffman, it's a beautiful touch on the wrist away. Perfect dig by Rachel Hickey, the libero, and then you give it right back. Let the person who started the play finish the play.
19-18 Jaguars. Michaela Wright continuing to serve left to right. Oh, the pass on the receive. Hoffman. Wow. First with a dig in the backcourt. Crow over a double block goes wide left.
Oh, the Jaguars got lucky. 2 overpasses. They couldn't put the ball away. Crow had an opportunity to stop the bleeding there, but hit it wide. Tried to press it down the line.
Instead, it's IUPUI up by 2, 20-18.
This is tough serving, Michael.
It sure is. Crow at the 3-meter line, deflected. Hickey becomes the setter for Johnson. And no.
They're going to call that a replay. And I had this issue a year ago. The ball hit the facade of the track. They're going to call it a replay because the facade is over the playing facility.
Okay.
So because of that, they're going to call it a replay.
And Michaela White clips the net. Provels, this time jump. Trueblood throws it left side. Deflected, kept alive by Cruces, the libero. Trueblood in the middle.
Great shot.
Wow, great shot by Haley Hoffman off the touch.
She's got that deep cut shot down to a pat, deep into the corner where there's no defender.
Timeout called by Purdue Fort Wayne. They now trail this set 21-18. And we go back again. At one point it was 12-6 Mastodons. And then IUPUI just went off. And they actually at one point went on an 11-2 run to go up 17-14. Mastodons actually put 4 points together in a row to go up 18-17. And since then, it's IUPUI winning 3 of the last 4 points.
Well, it's all started with the Jaguars serving. Their serving has picked up, Michael. It's flatter, it's harder, it's coming with pace, good locations in between the seams of passers. The serving is what has picked up for the Jaguars, and the serve-receive game is what has made things complicated for the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons.
When you call your second timeout in the set and there's still points to be played, do you go over what, obviously if you're behind you want to stop the run, get the serve back, but do you actually call a number of so-called plays ahead, or don't you?
You can, yes, you can, out of that timeout saying, listen, you look at some numbers, you go, listen, we've had success out of this rotation, running this particular set, let's do it out of this timeout. But you tell them it all starts with the first contact.
Down for Crow inside the 3-meter line. Nice dig by Trueblood. Backcourt dig by Julia Ware in the match for the first time. And off the touch from the right side, it is the freshman Sydney Schiller that comes away with the point. And now Purdue Fort Wayne trails by just 2. It's 21-19. Maddie Gates, the sophomore setter from Grand Rapids, Michigan, serving from the right corner. Short toss, punch, serve. Wright receives it. Trueblood for Johnson off the touch. Maddie Gates with the dig. Crusoe sets up Worcester. And Maddie goes wide.
The block.
First time she's had a swing in quite some time.
Right, and the block, well, she's been out of the floor for such a long time. The block was lined up in the angle. They forced her to hit the ball down the line.
Rachel Hickey, the libero, serving for the Jaguars. Gates for Crow. Oh, Trueblood knocked to her foot and off the touch. Caitlin Johnson comes up with the kill.
That's the shot again. The right side, this time down the line as a lefty. Very difficult to defend.
23-19 IUPUI.
And really good out-of-system setting by the libero for IUPUI. Hickey.
Maddie Gates.
That's trouble.
For Worcester, yeah. Trueblood digs it out. Hickey will
look at that set.
Try to set up Maddie Dean, and she's successful. All of a sudden, IUPUI has 4 set points.
Now fans are going, wait a minute, the one before was a replay. Why is it not a replay? Because that one was shelled and going into my office. That's out of play. No one was going to get that one.
24-19, Rachel Hickey serving for the first set for IUPUI. Katie Crow says, not so fast. Picking up her 7th kill of the set. 1 set point averted. It's 24-20, and Crow to serve for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Katie, who's abandoned the topspin this year, she's gone to the jump float serve.
Johnson off of Crow, and the first set is over. They come from behind, set win for IUPUI. Again, they trailed 12-6, but they win the first set 25-20. Teams will switch ends, and it'll be Purdue-Fort Wayne serving first when set number 2 begins in just over 2.5 minutes. So we'll take a break. Again, first set in the books. IUPUI wins it over Purdue-Fort Wayne 25-20. And from Arnie Ball Court, this is Purdue-Fort Wayne Women's Volleyball on YouTube.
So are you going home this weekend? Oh, yeah. So who's your ride? Who's your ride? No, but who's your ride? Who's your ride?
When someone asks, who's your ride? Who's your ride? Now providing fast, comfortable daily service into Indianapolis and on to anywhere across the nation. Log on to who'syourride.com for tickets and route schedules or call 1-800-544-2383. Who's your ride? Who's your ride?
Find your path and empower your future at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Seize opportunity with small classes, top faculty, and a degree that moves you forward. Experience everything and become anything with an education as unique as you are. Explore our degree programs and learn more about important application information by visiting pfw.edu/future. We are Purdue University, Fort Wayne, and this is an education with purpose.
Everybody to Arnie Ball Court, along with men's volleyball coach Brian Parada. I'm Mike Maz, and Black, we get the numbers from the opening set, won by IUPUI 25-20. You notice kills are even at 15. IUPUI leads in assists 15-14. Jags lead in digs 22-21. Mastodon's leading team blocks 2-0. So from that standpoint, numbers means it was a close set, but it really wasn't a close set.
Not down the second half of that. The serving picked up 3 aces for IUPUI, 1 for Purdue-Fort Wayne. Side-out percentage, 60% for the Jaguars, only 47%. That tells you the passing part is what broke down Purdue-Fort Wayne. Couldn't get good offensive swings to put the balls away. That's the difference, the second half of the opening set.
Well, you're looking at some of the numbers. Balanced scoring, if you will, kill-wise for IUPUI. Haley Hoffman with 4, Caitlin Johnson with 3, Ellie Pogue 2, Maddie Dean 2, Carissa Remter 2, 1 apiece from Michaela Wright and Rebecca Schlechte. Schlechte had 6 assists, Reagan Trueblood had 5. 3 service aces, 2 by Trueblood and 1 by Maddie Dean. No service errors. And there are other 22 digs, 5 coming from Reagan Trueblood, 4 from Michaela Wright. And you look at Purdue-Fort Wayne, Katie Crow with 6 kills, 3 for Liz First, 2 for Sydney Schiller off the bench, 2 for Sydney Borst, 1 apiece, Sandra Huvels and Maddie Worster. 9 assists off the bench by Maddie Nell, 3 by Maddie Gates, 1 service ace, that was by Maddie Nell, no service errors. And of the 21 Mastodon digs, 5 coming from Katie Crow and 4 coming from Liz First.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The opening set, the 2 best players on the team both hit negative. Michaela Wright and Madeline Worster.
Remter denied at the net, and a little touch shot by Michaela Wright from beyond the 3-meter line. Just flops over.
And I say best player in terms of their offensive production thus far during the course of the season. Worcester has been phenomenal all year long. She's currently hitting negative, and Wright the same way. And that's the first service error of the night for the Jaguars.
By either team. Maddie Dean hitting it into her side of the net. So we're tied at 1. Rachel Crucis, again the 5'2" freshman libero from Brunswick, Ohio, will serve for Purdue-Fort Wayne. Hickey receives.
And again.
Wow. Ellie Pogue with her 3rd kill.
On the right side of the floor. The Jaguars able to attack on that side at will.
2-1 IUPUI. Carissa Limter, the 6'2" freshman from Covington, Indiana, with a line drive serve. Maddie Gates setting up Worcester over a double block, just past the outstretched arm of a diving Carissa Limter.
That's such an impressive swing by Worcester. That ball is actually above her head, going onto her right shoulder as a lefty, and she's able to hit that ball through the seam down to the floor.
Maddie now off the bench. Again, she had 9 assists in the first set. Schlechte, oh, nice block, I should say dig by Crucis. Katie Crow. Schlechte with the dig, ball high in the air, kept alive. Michaela Wright, defensive return, 3-ball chance, Purdue Fort Wayne. First off the touch from the left side.
The Jaguars right now are in a zone in their service. They are passing the ball very, very well. Everything's in the center of the floor. Offense able to run really good patterns.
Schlechte to right, nice block by Schiller. Hickey throws it up left side. Schiller with a dig. Schlechte returns to favor right. Deflected. Touch shot by Pogue. Ball still in play. Right over a double block and off the arm of Sydney Borst.
Smart shot there by Wright. She sees the left hand of Borst and goes right off inside of it into the crowd for the kill. Beautiful adjustment on the swing there by Michaela Wright.
Reagan Trueblood serving at 3-all here in the second set. Now for Borst off the arm of Haley Hoffman.
Borst does the same thing. As a hitter, you're able to see the block. You want to go up, you can challenge the block, but you want to challenge the outside of the blocker's hands if you want to be successful.
Liz first serving for the Mastodons. Hickey throws it up for Wright over a double block.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Michaela Wright now with 4 kills tonight.
That is a thing of beauty. She's on her knees, makes a pass, gets up, takes a swing out of system, but is a smart attacker. Doesn't go up to blast the ball hard. This time she rolls it over top the Purdue Fort Wayne block to the floor.
And being from Fort Wayne, as she comes up with a service ace, she's got to have family and friends here tonight.
No doubt. And that serve was a laser.
5-4 IUPUI. Right, by the way, that's her 9th service ace of the season.
I mean, have they been serving like this all year long, Michael? I'm telling you, it is on a rope. It is flat, it is hard, and it is causing fits for the Mastodons in service eve. Textbook serving by the Jaguars.
Michaela Wright again, this time a little bit strong on the serve. Second service error on IUPUI.
The substitution worked nicely there for Coach Florio. Putting Julia Ware into the game to slow things down, causing the service error.
Julia Ware, by the way, a 5'5" junior from McCordsville, Indiana. Borst in the left corner with the serve. Here's Johnson, touched. Nice diving dig by Nell. Crow off of Trueblood. Point Purdue Fort Wayne.
Good transition. Starts with the dig. Nice out of system set by Ware. Crow able to tattoo down the line.
Sydney Borst again, short toss. Hickey receives. Trueblood throws it up for Wright, well beyond the 3-meter line. But it ping-pongs off Nell and Houvels.
While Nell poached that time right in front of Ware, who's playing middle back. She poaches, she cuts right in front of her. No balance, no control, the ball is sprayed.
Jaguars 7, Mastodon 6. Rachel Hickey, the IUPUI libero with the serve. Nell right side, Schiller, tough angle, too tough.
The ball control. In trouble here for the Mastodons. They need to slow things down a little bit, and there you go. Taking a wipe off the floor. You need to slow things down. You need to talk to yourself, Michael, in regards to just doing the fundamentals, especially balls that are coming like these that are rockets. Read the toss, put yourself in a position where you can get your arms out in front of the ball to attack it.
Nell will go to Crow on the left side, little dink shot. Trueblood up for the dig for IUPUI. Hickey for Johnson. The cut shot wide left. 8-7, the IUPUI lead cut to 1. And Maddie Gates to serve for Purdue Fort Wayne. And Mastodon's going left to right in set number 2. Right receives, True Blood trying to set up Maddie Dean. One-hand dig, that time by Gates. True Blood returns the favor, and a missed hit swing by Maddie Dean will result in a Purdue Fort Wayne point. We're tied 8-8.
Mastodons need some energy. They need to get a flow going. They need to get a stuff block or something to energize, as Coach Florio is doing just that, trying to pick up his team a little bit. No energy on the floor.
Maddie Dean kept alive by Ware. Point, Purdue Fort Wayne.
Maybe that's the play that gets it going here in terms of a spark. Quick tempo, good swing by Crow again, attacking the seam.
3 points in a row for Purdue Fort Wayne gives them a 9-8 second set lead. True Blood for Remter, blocked by Huvels. You gotta love those matchups at the front of the net when you have two gals who are of equal size.
And equal number.
Yeah, number 10.
Going at it. Huvels, that's a good block. She stayed with her hitter.
Maddie Gates too strong on the serve, however. So our second set score is Purdue Fort Wayne 10, IUPUI 9. And serving off the bench is Rebecca Schlechte to serve.
Double sub as well for the Jaguars. They also run the modified 6-2. Setter and opposite go out, new setter and opposite come in.
Tough serve. Worcester a defensive return. Right 3 meter line. Dug out by Gates. On the run, Katie Crow blocked once. Schlechte to her right for Pogue. Dug out by Crow. Worcester, that big left-hand swing right. Diving to her right, smacked off her right arm into the crowd.
Both teams said, here, you take this point. Here, you take this point. Here, you take. First contact sloppy, the second contact sloppier. Not a chance to get a good quality swing.
But the Mastodons get the point, and they say thank you very much. They're up 11-9.
This is the biggest set, Michael. If IUPUI goes up 2-0, what's left in the tank after that 5-set marathon against UC Riverside for the Mastodons? They must win this set and even things up going into the intermission.
Perspiration cleaned up on the Purdue Fort Wayne side. Rod Rodriguez, the up official, blows his whistle, and Katie Crow ready to serve. Schlechte to the right for Dean. Somehow kept alive by Purdue Fort Wayne. Left side for Pogue off the touch. Off the touch for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Well, yeah, she got blocked, Michael. That ball was rejected. Worcester rejected that ball right back in the alley. Pogue's face.
So it is a 12-9 Mastodon lead.
The Jaguars have stopped running the middle. I know that last ball on the block needs to get set again. They need to run a little bit more middle here as opposed to going pin to pin. Especially off a good pass. There's the stuff block there, beautiful stuff block by Worcester, getting her hands over the net. At 6'2", she's got long arms. She can penetrate the net.
Service ace on the mishandled receive. And timeout called by IUPUI. All of a sudden, they find themselves trailing this set 13-9. So a momentary break in the action. Purdue Fort Wayne back on the road this weekend. They will head down to Evansville, and I, having driven there myself last year for women's basketball game, that's a little over 300 miles.
It's a good trek.
It is a good trek going there and back in the same day. But they will be down in Evansville, and where is my schedule here? Here we go. They will take on the host Purple Aces on Friday night, Friday the 13th. Do you believe in such a thing?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah. Michael, I'm superstitious.
Okay. Yeah, it must be a Canadian thing. And they'll take on the Purple Aces at 7 o'clock. Then on Saturday, they'll play Eastern Illinois at 11 and Middle Tennessee at 4:30. And then a week from tonight, they'll make a trip up to Ypsilanti, Michigan. It'll be the first time, and I can't remember how many years I haven't made that trip to see Eastern Michigan and Purdue Fort Wayne get together at the Convocation Center. Beautiful facility in Ypsilanti.
The Eagles, formerly known as the?
Yeah, I know. Back in the day when I was in high school, and I'm
my cousin went there. That's all I know. That's right. So you're on. My cousin went there. That's all I know that, Michael.
And out of a timeout, Ali Pogue off the touch with the kill.
Great cut shot by Pogue there.
You had me for a moment. All of a sudden, I'm trying to go back a boatload of years.
Hey, you're Mr. Michigan. You need to know these answers.
Yes, I know. Maddie Dean with a deep serve. Comes up with a dig.
Oh, boy.
Two players hitting each other.
As the rule, as a middle attacker, if the ball gets dug into the center of the floor, you need to get out of the way, let the setter come up and set the ball. You be the hitter, not the setter. And that's where the confusion, and thankfully, no serious injury that time as the two Jags connected.
Ooh. And so it's a Mastodon point. Oh, nice dig by Katie Crow. Worcester over a double block. It spins. Kept alive. Gates a defensive return. Free ball chance. IUPUI. And hitting the antenna was Ali Pogue.
Purdue Fort Wayne slowing down the Jaguars' right side of the floor. They're starting to get more touches on the ball. If they're not getting a touch at the ball, the backcourt defense is in a position to play the ball. More middle attacking is needed by IUPUI, but not on a pass like that.
Michaela Wright going deep. Maddie Gates with the dig. Cruiser setting up Worcester over a double block. Kept alive by Schlechte. Nice dig by Gates. And roofing it home, however, is Remter. Clarissa Remter.
She made up for it the last time, able to just tap it down.
Makes our score 15-11. Purdue Fort Wayne on top. IUPUI with the serve in the person of Clarissa Remter, the 6'2 freshman out of Covington, Indiana.
This is where we were in the opening set. Purdue Fort Wayne had the lead entering the second half, and then the run started for the Jaguars.
Yep.
Let's see what happens here as we get into the second half of the second set.
Remter bouncing out like a basketball free throw shooter and then punches a line drive serve. Here comes Worcester. Wide right.
It's a beautiful block. The ball is set inside. The block goes inside. There's very, very little line to attack. She tries to twist it and find that really small line slot. Misses it wide.
15-12. Knuckleball serve that time. Forced. Off a short set by Maddie Gates.
Hadn't called her name in quite some time.
Just her fourth kill of the match. But it comes at a great time. It extends the Purdue Fort Wayne lead to 4 at 16-12. And now number 4, Maddie Nell, the freshman from Ohio with the serve just over the net. Right side, too strong a swing for Pogue. And it's a 5-point Mastodon lead, 17-12. Maddie Nell again to serve. Right receive. Schlechte back to right, left side, off the touch. Schiller and Boris trying for the block on the right side of the defense, unsuccessful.
Michaela Wright, she can elevate. That's a good shot up high. Only 5'8", but she really, really gets up.
In her fourth and final year at IUPUI. Reagan Trueblood off the bench to serve. Crow receives. Nell for Boris. Oh, ricocheting, and Hickey got it across. How did that little pinball action go? And now a block. Wide left by Haley Hoffman. Dons get the point, but pinball, boom, boom, boom.
Great swing by Liz first there to attack the block. The block was on its way down that time. It needs to go on its way up, and first was able to take advantage.
Unfortunately, she commits a service error. So again, it's a 4-point set, 18-14 Mastodons, and Michaela Wright serving for IUPUI, going from right to left. Deep serve, overpass, and putting it home is Maddie Dean.
All starts with the serve. Michaela Wright, tough jump float serve. Purdue Fort Wayne now making the adjustment, trying to get 4 passers in for serve receive.
Deep serve, long run. Ware keeps it alive. And off the touch, Purdue Fort Wayne will get the point.
High attack by Crow. Beautifully done that time. The ball set inside. I like to teach go with the ball. When the ball's inside, go with it. Swing high and hard off the hands. That's exactly what Crow did there.
True blood to her right for Johnson, kept alive by Ware. And they're going to call lift. Double hit. Instead, double hit. So the lead cut to 3. 19-16 Mastodons. Rachel Hickey serving for IUPUI at Katie Crow. It's been the case all night. Crow just inside the line.
Crow able to make it happen. Deep serve. She gets her feet back to pass the ball, run up and make the attack. The Jaguars really trying to work her over and serve receive.
Katie now with 10 kills in the match. Maddie Gates serving now, the sophomore setter. 20-16 our second set score. Purdue Fort Wayne on top of IUPUI. Trying to square this match at a set apiece. Wright receives the serve. True blood for Dean over a double block. Crucis with the dig. Gage tries to go deep off of the arm of True blood. Point Purdue Fort Wayne.
Shooting it over on 2. Maddie Gates catching the Jaguars napping defensively in transition.
21-16 now our second set score. Gates again with the serve. Dean dug out by Crow. Worcester, touch shot. Oh. Net violation on IUPUI.
Again, the block a little bit early on Worcester. And Worcester can delay to attack the ball because she's left-handed. She's got nice range. But they're on their way down as she's trying to attack the ball. That time she just tips it over the outstretched fingertips of the Jaguar block, causing the net violation.
Purdue Fort Wayne has won the last 3 points. They've doubled their lead from 3 to 6. It's 22-16. 3 points away from taking the second set. Wright receives the serve. True blood for Johnson. Dug out by Maddie Gates. Worcester over a double block off the hand of Wright in the backcourt. Point Purdue Fort Wayne.
They've done a nice job slowing down now the right side of the Jaguar attack. Johnson has not put a ball away in quite some time. Really good net play by the Mastodons.
Maddie Gates serving at 23-16. Just over the net. True blood for Remter. Off the touch.
And the Mastodons were there. They had 2 blockers in front of Winter, but they ran a little bit of a fade, a little bit of a gap set, and she was able to challenge the outside hand.
Rebecca Schlechte, the 5'10 junior setter to serve for IUPUI. They've been serving at Katie Crow all night long. Worcester right in front of Wright. And now a bushel of set points for Purdue Fort Wayne. They're on top 24-17 here in the second set. And Katie Crow will serve for the set. Wright receives. That had spin on it. Defensive return by Wright. Free ball chance. Purdue Fort Wayne. Huvels dug out by Hickey. Dean over double block. And Huvels and Liz First combined for the block. And the second set is over. This time it goes to the home team, Purdue Fort Wayne, by a score of 25-17. So we are all even at 1 set apiece. And now volleyball's version of halftime, the now 5-minute break, which I still hate, but I have nothing to say about
Love it, Michael. Love it.
You as a coach love it.
Love it.
Me as a broadcaster hates it. And we'll see if you can find, if we take a look behind us, Jason Burr is going to come and join us.
Yes, he is. Somewhere. Here he comes.
Here
See
he
him.
comes.
Party at the pitch, Michael. Talk to him about it.
We'll do our best. So we'll be momentarily joined by head women's soccer coach Jason Burr. First and foremost, thanks for coming tonight.
Hey, of course. The team's getting recognized for some good academic work, and always here to support the other Dons as we can during the season. It's good to be home for once.
Let's talk about the academics first. Why your team got to have their picture taken tonight. Talk about their success in the classroom.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really excited. I think we've talked about this in the past before, but this group of kids, when I first got here, their team GPA was a 3.09, which doesn't sound terrible, but for a women's soccer program at this level, not something to boast about necessarily. And we made a commitment from the first day that I got this job that we weren't going to win championships on the field until we started winning them in the classroom first. And they have taken that and taken it to heart and really applied a lot of the things that we're trying to do. And so highest women's team GPA on campus now, got a 3.65 team GPA, and I give all the credit to the kids on that one. We're not reinventing the wheel, but we've just got some great student athletes that are in our program right now that we're really proud of for what they're doing in the classroom. So
let's go from the classroom to the pitch, as Rock calls it,
Absolutely.
what you call it. A 2-1-2 start to this campaign.
Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Yeah, you know what, it's so we went back and did a little bit of digging the last couple of days, and apparently it's the best start that the program has had in the 20 years, and excitingly enough, we're celebrating the 20th season this fall, so best start that we've ever gotten off to, and we're excited about that, but it's a long season. We've just kind of kicked it off and know that we've got a long road ahead of us, and we're doing some things really well, but now the bulk of the tough non-conference schedule really begins to kick off for us, so we're really starting to get after it, and we'll see where we're really at after this weekend and probably next weekend as well.
I must be getting old because I remember that first season, 0-9. 0-9.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah, I think they scored maybe 1 or 2 goals that season.
One that I know of.
Yeah. So
2 big home matches this week. Friday night against Valparaiso, and that's a 7 o'clock, I'm going to call kickoff.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And then on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock against future Horizon League foe.
Yeah.
I still call them UAD because I'm from Detroit. Forget this Thursday part. But you play the Titans at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Quick thought on these 2 matches this weekend.
So Valpo, while they're not off to a great start from a record standpoint, Valpo is always going to be a team that is going to be a bit of a grudge match, and it's going to be a game that's going to be pretty difficult for us just because they've got some great athletes over there. They're very well coached, very well organized, so that'll be a tough match for us, but I think it'll be a great indicator as to what the rest of the season is going to look like for us. And then Detroit, realistically, they're a physical, hard-nosed, blue-collar team, and they're going to come in here and they're going to test us physically, and that's not necessarily our game, so it'll be interesting to see how the team reacts to a team that's going to come in and try to bully them and push them around a little bit. So we're expecting great things on the weekend, and I'm really excited about the event that we've got going on Friday night, so hopefully you get a big crowd out there.
Rock's doing his best to get me to change my schedule.
Yeah, good. I like it.
I got to sweet talk my wife into that.
Hey, you know what? We've got some food trucks coming out. We got music. We got good soccer. What more would she want? That's a great date night if you ask me.
I will talk to her. Hey, congratulations on the work that your team has done in the classroom and what they've done on the pitch, and good luck not only this coming weekend but for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, I always appreciate you having us on, and thank you so much. Always good to be a part of it.
Jason Burr, the head women's soccer coach here at Purdue Fort Wayne.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
Let's get it, Volley Dons.
And Rock will join me here shortly. We're ready to go almost with set number 3. After 2 sets, Purdue Fort Wayne leads in kills 29-25. They lead in assists 28-23. They lead in digs 36-31, and in team blocks 5-0. It's fun having Jason on. I mean, success both in the classroom And this year on the pitch, as you say, 2-1-2 with 2 big home matches Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, and he's really done a really nice job with that program and recruiting and coaching the young team. They're having some good success. They built off what they did last year, their non-conference season, the best in many, many years. Hopefully that'll transpose itself into the regular season this year, the final in the Summit League.
Well, Rebecca Schlechte serving for IUPUI to start the 3rd set. Crow denied. Nice dig by Crucis, who vows for Worcester. Dug out by Michaela Wright. A new face on the floor. Hannah Olberg, a 5'11 sophomore with the swing. Play continues. Huvels blocked at the net. Gates will set up Worcester over a double block and off the arm of Schlechte. Point Purdue Fort Wayne.
Oh, good first point. It's about the grind here. The response factor for IUPUI and the momentum factor for Purdue Fort Wayne. And their offense is really, really sizzling. At least it did late in that 2nd set.
Schlechte for Ellie Poe. First over a double block, pounds it past a diving Michaela Wright. 2-0 Purdue Fort Wayne.
Much more emotion on the Purdue Fort Wayne side of things.
And Katie Crow, the junior from Leo High School. Unfortunately, it's the top of the tape, a service error. So the Jaguars are on the board, trailing this set now 2-1. Again, Hannah Olberg, a 5'11 sophomore from DeKalb, Illinois. That's home of Northern Illinois University. She will serve for IUPUI. Northern Illinois, a member of the Mid-American Conference. There is the serve. Crucis receives. Worcester over a double block and rejected. You had Wright and Remter on the left side of the IUPUI net. Tag teaming for that block.
First time there that Purdue Fort Wayne went to a 2-person serve receive. Crucis, who the coaching staff just glow about, not only as a defender but as a serve receiver.
Perspiration being mopped up on the Purdue Fort Wayne side of the court.
Crow and Crucis taking up the majority of the court. Liz First only going to pass the line.
Gates a short set for Huvels, blocked at the net by Remter. Touch shot. Hickey digs it out. Oh, nice block. Sandra Huvels got a little help from Liz First.
Huvels doing a nice job. Again at the net. That's her 2nd stuff block, I believe.
3-2 Mastodons, and Rachel Crucis will momentarily serve for Purdue Fort Wayne.
A lot of perspiration on the floor. It was humid outside today.
Got back into the lower 90s today.
Lower 90s plus humidity, perspiration, easily coming off of these athletes, causing some stoppage in play.
Wright receives the serve, gets it back on the left side, little touch shot, diving dig. Gates and First almost collide, block at the net. Schlechte will go to the right. Nice dig by Crucis. First, Hickey with the dig. Play continues, right. And the cut shot off the arm of a diving Rachel Crucis. It'll be point IUPUI, and we're tied at 3.
That's why the coaching staff is so high on Rachel Crucis. She puts herself in a good position down the line, digs the first ball, and then makes a beautiful move inside the court on the angle to try and play that ball. That's just great reading of the game and great understanding of the game to where you want to put yourself to play defense.
Carissa Remter to serve for the Jaguars. We're tied at 3 here in the 3rd set. Match even at a set apiece. First receives. Worcester. When she gets going, and that left arm, it's fun to watch.
Well, she's physical for sure. It's not that she plays all the way around, including the back row, so she's not taking a lot of swings, so she should be able to maintain herself no matter how many swings she has in matches in the front court.
She has 8 kills so far tonight, and Michaela Wright off the touch just picked up her 8th kill. So back and forth we go, now tied at 4 in this third set. And Reagan Trueblood, one of the setters for IUPUI, off the bench to serve. Crow receives. Now short set for Sydney Borst off the arm of Hickey.
That's her favorite shot, is the wrist away for Sydney Borst. If you're defending her, you've got to make her cut the ball back.
Sydney now with 5 kills tonight. First serving at 5-4, and now 6-4. Trueblood almost went into the scorer's table trying to go after that ball. Liz first. Right down the middle with the serve. Now with one dig. Defensive return, free ball chance, Jaguars. Left side, right. Blocked. But the Jags get it back over.
That's the block there.
My second block by Haley Hoffman.
First of all, the coverage play, beautifully done. Hickey again off that quick cover, but the reach over into the wrist away shot by Hoffman. What a block.
6-5, Purdue Fort Wayne. Michaela Wright with the serve for IUPUI. Katie Crow dug out by the libero Hickey. And a miss hit by the setter, Maddie Nell.
The dig needs to be 20 feet high and 10 feet off the net. When you try and dig the ball right to the net, that's exactly what happens. The momentum carries it. Very, very difficult for a setter coming out of the back row, which is the case in Purdue Fort Wayne's case because they run the modified 6-2, so the setter's always coming out of the back row. Very difficult for her to go in and set that ball.
Michaela Wright with a service error that gives Purdue Fort Wayne a 7-6 lead.
You can run your offense from off the net. 5 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet. You can do that, and that's what's happening now more and more the higher levels of the game.
Worst little air into the serve. Hickey to receive. Trueblood a long way. Trying to set up Olberg. Katie Crow cut shot. Dug out by Olberg. And then going long was Hoffman with an attack error. And a little bit of daylight for the Mastodons, now up 8-6. Borst again from the left corner, clips the net. Olberg receives. Here comes Johnson, dug out by Crow. Oh, Hoffman comes right back off the arm of Borst. Haley Hoffman now with 4 kills tonight. And he brings brings IUPUI to within 1, trailing 8-7. Hickey to libero with the serve. Katie Crow. Oh, Dons were looking for a touch, not getting one.
That ball was wide. It was a low set. Crow tried to drive that ball straight ahead, but missed it. Caught the ball late. You got to pick that ball off. When the ball's coming low with tempo, you got to pick it off quicker.
So we're tied at 8. Nil to the right side for Schiller, dug out by libero Hickey. Going deep, Nil left side for Crow. Off the touch, off the arm of Johnson.
Johnson was there, but she did not get her hands over the net. It was vertical, so the ball was able to penetrate through on the attack, as you're about to see here by Crow. She's vertical. She needs to penetrate a little bit more, try and keep her shoulders square and stay and remain into the airspace of the attacker.
Maddie Gates serving for Purdue Fort Wayne. And for the left side, off the touch, Hannah Olberg responds for IUPUI.
Hannah Olberg, fresh legs as a sophomore coming into the game, wearing the best number in the game, number 7.
On number 8, Rebecca Schlechte will now serve. We're tied at 9 here in the third set. Match tied at a set apiece. And a little bit of English on that serve, but it veered to the right for a service error.
It's going to be a tight set here. Got to keep it close if you're both teams. Little separation could be the difference.
Katie Crow serving for the Mastodons. Right receives. Schlechte. Olberg over a double block, kept alive by Crucis. Oh, nice block at the net by IUPUI. Second chance for first, rejected again. Gates for Huvels. That's blocked by Carissa Remter. And we're tied at 10.
Remter made the move again. Wrist away, wrist away. That's what the middle blockers now, the Jags, are doing. So the Mastodon middles are going to have to try and cut a couple balls back into zone 1.
Malberg serving. Crucis receives. Here's Worster. Off the arm of Hickey. Maddie Worster now in double figures with 10 kills. And the Mastodons are on top 11-10 here in set number 3. And more perspiration being mopped up. Okay, give Worcester 9 kills. I'll correct myself there. Service ace. Service ace for Rachel Crucis. That is her 3rd service ace of the season. And a 2-point Mastodon lead. She'll serve again at 12-10. Long run. Defensive return by Schlechte. Gates, right side, Worster. Rejected by Michaela Wright.
Well, it started with the first contact. Katie Crow poached Crucis, the libero. And then from there on, that's a beautiful one-on-one block, however, on the backside by Wright.
Carissa Remter with a line drive serve. Back and forth we go. Gates back to Worster over a double block. Schlechte with a one-arm dig. This time, Gates attack.
Jaguars scrappy on defense, touching balls, both in the front and back court.
But the point goes to the home team, Purdue Fort Wayne. They're up by 2, 13-11.
The Mastodons really working in their offensive game to put the ball to the floor.
Maddie Nell, the freshman setter, to serve. Wright receives. Schlechte right side. Oh, what a dink shot that time by Allie Pogue. Who's just belatedly tried to dive to catch up to it, but she could not.
Sydney Schiller, the offside blocker, has got to get that ball. She can read the angle. She can see that the tip is coming. Crucis is behind the block. She's shorter. She can't see that tip coming. Schiller's got to make that play.
Trueblood serving for a 3rd set tie. Schiller over a double block. Somehow Oldberg, well, it's going to go into the seats.
Wow, tip for tip. That one lands and scores. Tip defense must happen, Michael. The offside blocker needs to make that play, and that's got to be a ho-hum play. There's very little disguise.
Liz first serving at 14-12. Here's Michaela Wright.
Got it.
Michaela Wright with her 9th kill. And now she will serve in an attempt to tie this set up.
She has really been active this 3rd set, coming out of recess. A stuff block, couple digs, couple 3 kills.
Deep serve, no, left side for Crow. Was it touched or was it long? Just inside. And for Katie Crow, that is her 12th kill of the night. A 15-13 Purdue Fort Wayne lead here in the 3rd set. Sydney Bohr serving from the left corner. Trueblood will go to the right for Johnson. Cut shot, I think, is wide left. Now it's a 3-point lead at 16-13.
That's a tough ball. It was a little bit tight. Johnson tried to cut it inside. She had the line open.
Hickey receives the Bohr serve. Oh. Nice block. Huvels and the freshman Schiller combine. A little surprised IUPUI hasn't called a timeout.
There it is, Coach Maz.
Jeez, no, I'd be in deep trouble if I was coaching. 17-13, our 3rd set score. Purdue Fort Wayne on top. And the 50th match all time between these two schools. Again, this series began back in 1978.
What year did the Mastodons first compete in the NCAA Division I level? Is it A, 1976?
So, taking a quick look Purdue Fort Wayne leads in kills 38-31. They lead in assists 37-29. Lead in digs 44-40. Lead in total blocks 7-4. Macedon's hitting 280 so far tonight. 38 kills, 100 swings, 10 attack errors. IUPUI, 31 kills, 100 swings, 16 attack errors. They're hitting 150. So, and again, these two teams next year will play each other twice once again. They'll both be members of the Horizon League. I guess you could say the I-69 series will continue.
Well, I talked to Coach Froelich before the match about that, and I said to her, at least I asked her, you know, what are her feelings, because they've now been in the Horizon League for a couple of years, and she said, listen, it's stiff competition. The top 3 teams in the Horizon League could bring it every night, and after that, it's a scrap crapshoot. So it'll be very, very interesting as Johnson hits one down the line. It'll be very, very interesting to see the adjustment that Purdue Fort Wayne makes going into the Horizon League next year. A much more physical conference.
She said Caitlin Johnson with the kill, Hickey with the serve. 17-14 Purdue Fort Wayne at the moment. Schiller a dink shot, and Remter digs that one out. Second chance. Nice dig in the backcourt. Nice block by Kurloff to Remter's swing. Oleberg off the touch, kept alive by Maddie Nell. Tough angle for Schiller, and I think she hit the antenna.
That set was past the pin. Very difficult for Schiller to take a swing that time. Ball's got to try and be inside the court so the attacker can get inside the court and take a cut shot.
2 straight points for the Jaguars out of their timeout. Now they trail by 2, 17-15 here in the third. Crow inside the 3-meter line.
A lot of tipping by the Mastodons. That ball does not go. A lot of tipping, a lot of off speed by Purdue Fort Wayne. That's not how they got the lead. They mixed it up with their swinging.
Maddie Gates, the sophomore setter from Grand Rapids, Michigan, to serve at 18-15. And right now they're trying to adjust the net right above Rod Rodriguez, the upper fisher, right next to him. Guess we're ready to go. Gates, a deep serve, right receives. Trueblood for Oleberg. No, hits the net. Kept alive by Hickey. Oh, second effort.
Maddie Gates left her post. She needed to stay home and play defense. She left her post quickly.
And Hannah Olberg took advantage of it. 18-16, Macedon's on top. Rebecca Schlechte, the IUPUI setter, to serve.
The serving has come down a little bit by the Jaguars. They're not hitting it with the same type of authority they did in that second set.
Olberg, and off the touch. Crow's block attempt went wide right, and Steve Florio wants to talk things over. So a timeout on the court. Our third set score, Purdue Fort Wayne 18, IUPUI 17. Match even at a set apiece. And not much more you can say because it's back and forth. And a nice crowd. We look across the way and see a lot of student athletes in the crowd for Purdue Fort Wayne from some of the other teams on campus. Again, Purdue Fort Wayne heads down to Evansville this weekend. They will take on the host Evansville Flying Aces on Friday night. They'll play Eastern Illinois and Middle Tennessee on Saturday. 1 week from tonight, they'll be in Ypsilanti, Michigan, taking on Eastern Michigan. And then they'll go down to the Illinois side of St. Louis, Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, beautiful campus. I don't think you've ever been there.
Never.
8 miles on the Illinois side of St. Louis, beautiful campus. And part of the SIUE tournament, we will take on Presbyterian on September the 20th, Central Arkansas, and host SIUE on the 21st. And our next get-together will be on September 24th when Summit League play begins here at Arnie Ball Court, Western Illinois. And that'll be a 6 o'clock match, Fort Wayne time.
I'll see you then, Michael. And then Denver.
To that. And then Denver, the preseason pick to win their 6th Summit League title in a row.
Regular season.
Yes. Oberg from the left corner ties the set at 18 apiece. And Schlechte will continue to serve left to right. Crow receives. Gates setting up Worcester. Hickey with a dig on her knees. Oberg down the line. Julia Ware with the dig for Purdue Fort Wayne. Katie Crow off the touch. Will pick up kill number 13. And the Mastodons take a 19-18 lead.
Down the stretch here, which team continues to play full throttle but minimizes the errors?
Line drive served by Crow is long.
Errors always magnified down the stretch of sets. That one cost the Mastodons.
19-19, Hannah Oberg, again the 5'11 sophomore from DeKalb, Illinois, serving for the Jaguars, and she comes back with a service error.
Back-to-back service errors. That's how crucial this set is. You can feel the tension.
Well, the freshman libero, Rachel Crucis, to serve for Purdue Fort Wayne. She served to begin the match tonight. Schlechte.
Tight set. Right. Oh, it's in. What a cut shot by Wright. Oh, Karch-like.
Michaela Wright with her 10th kill. And we're knotted at 20.
That is range.
Carissa Rempter to serve for the Jaguars. First receives. Worcester from the right side. Off the touch.
Another roll shot off speed scores. The Jags have got to make the adjustment. They're so dug in expecting the hard heat. And then the Mastodons roll it. And now that is the 12th sub. No more subs here for Purdue Fort Wayne. 41 points in. They're going to have to run the clock now in the 5-1.
And Maddie Nell committed a service error to tie the set at 21 all.
12 subs utilized in the women's game. And when you double sub frequently, that's what happens when you have late, tight sets. You're going to run out eventually.
Ellie Polk serving for IUPUI. Just long. Liz first, I thought she was going to try to receive it, but it somehow got past her.
Oh, I thought she touched it.
I thought she did too.
And I know I just had my vision checked. So, just saying, they said 2020.
I think by her facial expression, I think she thought that she touched it.
And I know it's true, so I can see the ball, how far I hit it, Aaron Johnson. 400 yards down the line there, just so I know, 2020.
22-21 Mastodons.
Right inside again. That is Karch-like. You go sharp into the angle, the cutty. Then you take it again hard into the cross court. You take what the block gives you.
Michaela Wright with a team-high 11 kills for IUPUI.
Beautiful for Wright.
Waiting to serve, but Julia Ware comes in for Purdue Fort Wayne.
No, they weren't out of subs then yet.
They might be now.
Maybe that's 10, maybe.
Crow dug out by Wright in the backcourt. Schlechte in the middle for Hoffman. Rejected. Schiller off of Hickey.
What a dig.
Kept alive. Right in the backcourt. Ware digs it out. Left side for Crow. Off of Michaela Wright's fist. Point Purdue Fort Wayne.
Number 8, Rebecca Schlechte, who was blocking on the right side, is blocking the antenna. She needed to come inside that time. It was a split block, and Crow was able to go right between the seam for the kill. Timeout call
by IUPUI, their second. So they are out of timeouts. And I'm going to double check for Purdue Fort Wayne. No, Steve still has one to work with should he desire to use it. And that could come in handy.
Well, I thought I saw George Carlton put up the signal for max subs. I thought, but I can't tell. Fingers, hands, fists, they all look alike now.
A lot of things look alike. You mentioned earlier, final year of competition in the Summit League for every sport here at Purdue Fort Wayne except yours, men's volleyball. And you still belong to the MIVA.
Well, it's going to be an adjustment for all the teams, and it's a wonderful thing that we are going to the Horizon League, better travel, better rivalries. It's wonderful. But the ante has been upped, and the competition is ready to rock and roll, and they're not going to show mercy to Purdue Fort Wayne as the newcomers coming into the Horizon League. It is a tough league. It is a very, very competitive league, and I can't wait to see the action starting in 2020.
Schlechte will set up Olberg, blocked, but kept alive somehow by Hoffman. Here is Crow, off of right, point Purdue Fort Wayne, and it's double set point. Now 24-22.
Rebecca Schlechte continues to get on the left shoulder and block the antenna. She needs to get on the right attacking shoulder of Crow.
Sydney Borst with the deep serve. Hickey receives. Schlechte will go to the left for Olberg. Touch shot.
Can't tip on
Dug out by Nell. There is Crow over a double block, and that's kept alive by Michaela Wright. Olberg again. Nice dig by Borst in the backcourt. Here's Katie Crow inside the 3-meter line. Long.
Missed it. At least there was a swing there. You can't tip on set point. The defense and the block is all over the ball going on to the left side. You've got to be able to take a good swing. If you're Hannah Olberg, you need to go up and be smart with the ball, and that's exactly what the coaching staff is telling her right now. You can't tip. You got to go up and be smart with the shot. The offside blocker is rolling underneath the block. See if you can take that ball and roll it along the net, maybe go deep in the corner. She did get a good swing eventually down the line, but it was dug by Borst because Purdue Fort Wayne was in the shift. But you cannot tip on set point.
And Steve Florio just used that timeout he had in his back pocket, possibly to freeze the set of the server.
Absolutely. Give them something to think about. Talk about their offensive game here, what they want to do coming out of the serve-receive.
And I believe it'll be Rachel Hickey, their libero, to serve for IUPUI.
If Crow is in the front row, I would assume you've got to set Crow again. I know she just hit that last ball out of bounds, but she's had 3 kills out of her last 4 swings. Most likely go to her, but I wouldn't be surprised, depending on where they're lined up here, where they may go off of a decent pass at least.
Katie has a match-high 15 kills so far tonight. Maddie Worcester with 10. For IUPUI, Michaela Wright has 11 kills. Hoffman and Pogue 5 apiece.
So Schiller is on the right. We have Hovels in the middle, and Crow is going to swing the left. That's how the lineup is for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Hickey with the serve. Received by Ware. Crow, blocked. Crucius with the dig. Schiller, touch shot, that's blocked. Schlechte back to Olberg. Down the line, off the touch.
Yep.
Yes. And we're tied at 24.
Nels.
Overtime, as they say.
Maddie Nell did not repeat the set to Crow. Crow got blocked, but it was covered. Nell decided to go to Schiller overhead instead of going back to Crow. We're tied at 24.
Rachel Hickey again with a deep serve. Julia Ware the receive. Nell for Schiller, and that's dug out. Here's Michaela Wright off of 2 touches.
What a comeback here.
And now all of a sudden it is set point IUPUI, both teams out of timeouts.
2 huge defensive plays. And Wright that time out of a broken pipe swing.
Hickey with the serve. Crow to receive. Now back to Crow. Got the touch, and on we play.
A point too late. That's the one the Mastodons needed before. Now, they can't sub yet because they can only think about subbing 1 time. This might be a delay of game here. Coach Florio is going to make this happen quicker. And
if it's
because he's only got one sub remaining.
And that one sub is Alexandra Traciak.
No, he's at 14 subs now. That's his 14th sub. And it's 25 all.
25 all, and the freshman Traciak off the bench to serve. Schlechte attacks, Cruces digs it out.
Ooh.
Who's got it? Weird defensive return. Olberg? Yes. Set point number 2 for IUPUI. They're on top 26-25.
They got away with it on the dump attempt there on the center. But that time smartly out to the left side. And Hannah Olberg puts it down.
With Rebecca Schlechte to serve for the set for IUPUI.
Tough serve!
Yep. And IUPUI posts a rabbit out of a hat. And they rally and they win the third set by a score of 27-25. So it's the Jaguars now with the advantage, up 2-1. We will take a break. Set 4 coming up shortly. Again, Jaguars come from behind to win the third set, 27-25 over the Mastodons. IUPUI up 2-1 in the match. And from Arnie Ball Court, this is Purdue Fort Wayne Women's Volleyball on YouTube.
Sports headquarters, and now you have it. Welcome to Doozy Sports Bar and Grill and Hotel Fort Wayne on Washington Center and Coldwater Road. Open daily 11 to 11 or earlier or later depending on when your game's on. You want sports? We've got them all. You want big screens? Well, we've got 27 big screens, so there's not a bad seat in the house. And with our NFL ticket, you'll catch every play of every game from that seat. Before you shoot pool, it's time to order a party in your mouth with our pork tenderloins, Italian sub, tempura battered green beans, fried pickles, fall off the bone wings, pulled pork sandwiches, burgers of the month, and our signature Doozy's candied bacon and blue bison burger. Or keep it light with a daily lunch combo, salad, half sandwich, or cup of soup. You like specials? We do with our 50-cent Wing Wednesdays, Smoking Hot Thursdays with barbecue baskets, baby back ribs, and 14-hour slow-smoked beef brisket, and fabulous fish and chips Fridays. So what do you say about a 27 big screen sports bar on Fort Wayne's north side with amazing food? About time! Doozy's in Hotel Fort Wayne on Washington Center and Coldwater Road.
Life is busy enough. And when you add finding a doctor, it can be overwhelming. Lutheran Health Network now makes it possible to find a doctor with just one phone call to 844-LHN-DOCS. One call lets you schedule an appointment with one of more than 50 primary care providers in our network. Just call 844-LHN-DOCS. Finding a doctor with just one call? That's life, powered by Lutheran. Lutheran Health Network includes physician-owned hospitals.
Welcome back, everybody. Courtside here at Arnie Ball Court, along with Purdue Fort Wayne head men's volleyball coach Ryan Perrott. I'm Mike Maz. IUPUI wins the third set, 27-25. Take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-5 match, and the number is getting even closer overall. Kills favors Purdue Fort Wayne 43-40. Mastodon's lead in assists 42-38, in digs 51-50, and in blocks 7-4. But Rock, when I looked at the last figure, in the third set alone, IUPUI had all 4 of their team blocks. Purdue Fort Wayne just 2 of their 7.
And the Jaguars had 19 digs that set. Michaela Wright, 6 kills, no errors on 9 attempts in that third set. A monster performance by her, but the difference as well, Hannah Olberg, steady on the left side, number 7 in red and black and white, did a phenomenal job as well in a supporting role for the Jaguars. That is a heartbreaking loss if you're the Mastodons. How do you respond? That is the question.
And before this fourth set gets underway, perspiration being cleaned up on the IUPUI side of the court. Jaguars in the fourth set will go from right to left. Looks like Maddie Gates will serve first for Purdue Fort Wayne. sophomore setter out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
They start in row 1. The Jaguars in rotation 2 with their setter, middle back.
Short toss, set underway. Nice dig right off the get-go by Gates. Here's Katie Crow. Schlechte keeps it alive. Goldberg for right.
Great
for a double
set.
block. Gates, Crow, dink shot. Schlechte digs it out. Hickey sets up right in front of the net. Cut shot. Crow with a dig. Cruces keeps it alive. Defensive return by Houvels. Free ball chance, IUPUI. And off the touch, Ellie Pogue gives IUPUI a 1-0 lead.
What a play by Cruces. Man, is she good. Able to track that ball down.
Carissa Rimter serving for IUPUI, back middle baseline.
It's hard to believe, and that's going to be a service ace.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that after 3 sets, the Jaguars are only hitting 19%. You would think it's a little bit higher than that. Purdue Fort Wayne is at 258 because they have a lot of confidence, and especially after winning that 3rd set. What an epic one.
Gates for Crow, hits the net. Holberg keeps it alive. Here's Michaela Wright. Cruces with the dig. Worcester misses. Point IUPUI. They're on top 3-0 to start the 4th set.
They're really, really dejected. You can tell by the body language. A lot of confusion and frustration on the side of the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons. Out of system.
Cruces will set up Worcester. Dug out. Olberg.
What a shot.
Nice shot by Haley Hoffman.
Hoffman high and hard off the hands.
And timeout called by Purdue Fort Wayne, as they are now trailing this set 4-0. And it's amazing, we talked about it earlier, Rock, coming from behind. In the first set, Purdue Fort Wayne was up 12-6, and yet IUPUI won the set 25-20. And in the 3rd set, Mastodons had 2 set points at 24-22 and couldn't get the job done.
It's about learning how to win, learning how to finish, and that's the key. And it's about execution down the stretch. You've got to have playmakers. You've got to be able to make plays. Purdue Fort Wayne did not. And Michaela Wright and the Jaguars did that 3rd set, and it has carried over. And now it's about leadership. Who in white will step up and lead this team out of the abyss of dejection?
IUPUI has won 9 of the last 10 points, going back to the last set and the first 4 points of this set.
And that is will.
Again, IUPUI 1-4. Purdue Fort Wayne 2-4 at this point of the season. Renter serving out of the Purdue Fort Wayne timeout.
That's a violation. Maddie Gates into the net off the tight pass. The serving once again picked up by the Jaguars. 5 unanswered to start set 4. Rotation 1. Tuffield. They're going to serve Crow, who's got a pass and swing on the backside.
Carissa Rimter going at Cruces. There is Crow, finally. Katie Crow.
That's a service error, Michael. You've got to serve Crow there and not Cruces, the libero.
Katie Crow now with 17 kills tonight. She will serve.
It just frees up the passer when they're in the front row. You've got to make the front row passer work.
Schlechte right side for Pogue. Here comes Liz first. Hickey with the dig. Cruces keeps it alive. Collision first. Dug out. Hickey, the defensive return for IUPUI. Worcester off the arm of Hickey. Point Mastodons. 2 points in a row after falling behind 5-0. It is now 5-2.
Sensational defensive play by Hickey on the hard-driven ball. Cross court by Liz First.
Almost an overpass on the receive, and IUPUI puts it down. I think Hoffman will get credit for the kill.
That's Hoffman. They're running a little bit more of a delay as opposed to the quick one with the 0 tempo, meaning that the attacker is already in the air. It's more of a delay. Ball's being set. Not as high as a 2 ball, but it's a 1 ball. But the hitter's waiting at the last minute before attacking.
Allison Cook making her first appearance of the night, a 5'3" freshman from Plainfield, Indiana, with the serve. First, Olberg with the dig. Schlechte goes left side for right over a double block. Worcester with the block. Hickey keeps it alive. Olberg. Crucis with the dig. Worcester again from the right side. Dug out by Cook. Long rally again. Michaela Wright rejected by Maddie Worcester.
These are really, really good defensive transition plays by the Jaguars, but the Mastodons there with the answer at the net. Worcester with the stuff block.
Rachel Crucis, the freshman libero, to serve. 6'3", IUPUI on top here in the 4th set. Schlechte for right. Nice dig by Crow in the backcourt.
And Borst is into the net. She tried to attack that ball on 2 with her left hand. Again, the dig. Notice the quality of the dig for the Jaguars. The ball is 10 feet off the net. Notice the quality of the dig for the Mastodons. It's about 4 inches off the net. That's the difference between ball handling.
Michaela Wright with the serve for IUPUI. Liz first, off of Wright. First time we've caught Liz's number in a while. She now has 8 kills. More importantly, she brings Purdue Fort Wayne to within 3. They trail the set 7-4. And number 4, Maddie Nell to serve. Schlechte attacks. The element of surprise in evidence there.
Well, she did it late in that 3rd set. Thank goodness it didn't cost them if you're a Jaguar fan. That time, smartly done.
Rachel Hickey, the Jaguar libero, to serve at 8-4. First. Oh, how did that play stay alive? Schlechte somehow got it across. Olberg. Long. How did Rebecca Schlechte get her arm on that? 8-5, the Jaguar lead cut to 3.
Olberg underran that ball. She hit it from behind her. That's why that ball carried. Deep float serve.
Olberg beyond the 3-meter line. Cruises to her left with the dig. Katie Crow would go. The block attempt by Schlechte, and Remter goes wide right.
I love this adjustment here by First. The deep, deep float serve. Shades of the living legend who sits behind us, Lauren Gebert, the former Mastodon star of the 80s.
Olberg over a double block off the touch. Hannah Olberg makes it 9-6 in favor of IUPUI. Looks like Rebecca Schlechte will serve. And she's moving over to the left side.
Let's see if they try and angle it to Crow. They don't.
Here is Katie Crow. Block attempt by Ellie Pogue goes wide right. Again, Purdue Fort Wayne draws to within 2. They trail this 4th set 9-7. They trail the match 2-1.
If you're a Jaguar defender, you've got to get concentrated on Crow.
Schlechte setting up Pogue. Pogue a second chance. Katie Crow with the dig. Right side for Schiller. Michaela Wright digs it out. Short. Oh, nice block attempt that time by Crow.
Off speed.
Good shot. Bill with the dig. Katie Crow. Hickey digs it out. Overpass.
That's what happens when you dig the ball to the net. That ball was shanked by Hickey. That ball, one of the easier balls she could have played high into the air. She decided to shovel that to the net, and that's exactly what happens. Trouble. Cost her team a point.
9-8. Borst serving for a 4th set tie. Schlechte left side. Pounding it home is Allie Pogue. 5'11" freshman out of Evansville North High School. 10-8, IUPUI on top here in the 4th set. And Hannah Olberg with the serve.
Purdue-Fort Wayne has been out of system this entire set, Michael.
Attack error by Katie Crow makes it 11-8 in favor of IUPUI.
And when you're out of system, Michael, every ball is going to the left side. And you've got to be able to score out of system, and that's a hard task for Crow. You've got 2 blockers and then 4 defenders just camped right there. Better pass.
Schiller. Dickey's block, dig attempt, I should say, went wide left.
Michaela Wright could have pursued that, I thought.
She did not. Maddie Gates off the bench to serve for the Mastodons, trailing the set 11-9. Trailing the match 2-1. Short toss, just clears the net. Wright receives, gets it back from Olberg, 3-meter line. Dug out by Gates. Cruces will try to set up Crow. Yes. Oh, still alive. I thought it was dead. In fact, the line judge, I thought, was signaling it was over. Finally, Purdue-Fort Wayne will get the point. Well, okay, educate me. The line judge had his flag down, as I thought, as if the point was over.
I am assuming that Rod Rodriguez wanted to allow. He thought he had the view that the ball was up, let the play finish, and then confirm with the lines person. That's what I'm assuming what he would have done.
Michaela Wright, cut shot wide right. Now we're tied at 11 apiece. I haven't learned much in 25 years of doing volleyball, but I've learned a couple of things. What those are, I don't know. But when I saw that signaling down, I thought he thought that the play was over. Oh, change of pace shot by Crow.
Oh, that one. Rod Rodriguez decides to call definitively that was down, even though that one looked like it was up.
Brought Steve Florio off the Mastodon bench in a hurry.
And the lines person didn't call down that time. Now again, I don't see any of the players arguing. I mean, if you're going to sell it, you got to sell it as a player. That's the difference.
11-10 Jaguars. Carissa Rempter to serve.
Been a lot of experimentation this summer in the VNL. They only had one lines person and they stood middle back off the court trying to do different things. So it's really interesting. Of course, the championships, you have 2 officials, and then you have 4 lines people. Everybody's out of line. So the eyes are a little bit different.
Service error by Rempter, and we're tied at 12. Katie Crow to serve. She has 1 service ace so far tonight. Schlechte for Wright over the double block. Off the touch, Michaela Wright with kill number 13.
High and hard, the range is getting bigger. She's got the sharp angle. She's got the off speed, that time high, deep corner.
Allison Cook makes her second appearance to serve, the 5'3" freshman out of Northview High School, Plainfield, Indiana, down by Indianapolis. Really short toss. Open palm serve, and it's long. 8 service errors on IUPUI now tonight in the match. We're tied at 13 here in the 4th set. And Rachel Cruces to serve. Left to right. Schlechte. Partial dig by Maddie Gates. Crow. Defensive return. Free ball chance, Jaguars. Schlechte attack blocked by Sydney Borsch. Point Purdue-Fort Wayne. Sydney Borsch in the right place at the right time.
It's a great block, but Haley Hoffman on this free ball that's coming over the net decides to pass the ball. Why, I don't know. Let the defensive specialist / libero handle the first contact. You be a hitter.
Schlechte left side for Wright. Cut shot. Diving dig by Liz first. Here comes Worcester. Oh, it clipped the net and it veered just to the right. Point IUPUI, we're tied at 14. Michaela Wright playing in her final college match in the city of Fort Wayne. 4 years a Concordia cadet, now 4 years as an IUPUI Jaguar. And what a match she's had tonight. 13 kills and 11 digs so far. Worcester with the right hand. Wright comes up for the dig. Schlechte for Olberg over a double block. Off the touch. Double hit. And now IUPUI on top.
Tough serve to Crow. Then the bad set to Maddie Worcester on the backside. That's the key. You got to work over Crow here if you're the Jags. You've had success all night long with that. That's a mistake.
Liz first off the touch.
It's pretty simple stuff, and that the Mastodons make them pay. If you're going to serve that ball short, that ball's got to be in front of the 3-meter line and make the libero come all the way up. So they've got to try and get into traffic. But if you don't, and just serve the lollipop into the center of the floor, Michael, you are bound to be licked.
Liz first with 8 kills tonight. Maddie Nell to serve at 15 apiece. Schlechte for right 3-meter line, dug out by Crow, but is the ball still alive? Yes, it is.
That's 4 contacts.
It was for a split second. IUPUI 16, Purdue Fort Wayne 15.
As sloppy as the Mastodons have played this 4th set, I mean, they were trailing 0-5.
Yes.
They're only down 1 point. If they can get a spark, clean up the ball handling, and pass the ball in serve receive, Michael.
Rachel Hickey to serve.
Not a good pass.
Schiller, the freshman. Oh! A miss hit by Rimpter.
It's just making it harder for them, Michael. I'm not telling you they can't do it, but it could be a lot easier if they were in flow with their side-out game, because it puts so much pressure on you defensively to make a play.
Schlechte for Olberg. Hit the line, hit the antenna, I do believe. So it's Purdue Fort Wayne now on top, 17-16. And once again, Liz first to serve. Katie Crow with a towel's help, get some perspiration off the court. Wright receives. Schlechte for Remter off the touch.
It's a great shot. Remter again. High and hard off the hands on the backslide. Tied at 17.
Remter only has 5 kills tonight, but she's got 5 digs, a solo block, a block assist, and a service ace. Schlechte to serve. Julia Ware receives. Katie Crow off the touch. Katie's 20th kill of the night. And I do believe that's a season high.
And we're not even through 4 sets, Michael.
No. Mastodon's up 18-17. Sydney Borst in the left corner to serve. Hickey receives. Schlechte to her right. Olberg, yes. Hannah Olberg put it between Borst and Nell. Back and forth we go. Now we're tied at 18. And Olberg to serve. Nell throws it up, left side for Crow, and a miss hit.
Serve receive. What trouble, Michael. Coach Florio seething on the sidelines.
Well, he has yet to call a timeout in this. No, he's called one. I'm taking it back at 4-0. He was called the timeout.
Working the seam between Crow and Ware. Touch play.
Hickey with the dig. Remter, yes. And a 2-point Jaguar lead, 20-18. They're already up in the match. 2-1.
They're going to try and slow things down here and wipe the floor. See if they can slow down Hannah Olberg. Gone on that good serving run to give the Jaguars a 2-point advantage. Now they've decided to serve that seam ball between Crow, between Ware. Make some indecision movement if at all possible. Hovels is in the middle. Schiller is on the right side. Rotation 3. That's a missed serve.
And Katie Crow dug out by Olberg in the backcourt. Here's Michaela Wright.
Yeah, they didn't get away with it that time. Double contact. Aaron Johnson called that one from here. Again, a bad serve. You just scored 2 in a row. And you decide to serve the woman in black, the libero, the specialist.
Maddie Gates to serve for a 4th set tie, if possible. Schlechte, Cruces with the dig, kept alive by Crow. Defensive return, Gates, rebound chance to IUPUI. Michaela White off the touch, kept alive by Ware. Worster rejected. One-hand dig, defensive return, play goes on. Schlechte to her right. Dink shot by Pogue. Point IUPUI. 21-19.
The defense not there again on the off-speed shot. The offside blocker, Maddie Worster's got to get up there and make that play. Really good variety if you're the Jaguars offensively.
And Steve Florio calls his second and final allotted timeout. His team trails IUPUI 21-19. So how are things going with your men's team?
I have no idea. Michael asked me at the end of October when we start practice.
Oh, sure. I thought I saw you when I came to set up shop.
Yeah, we're doing some individual stuff, Michael. It's our second day of individual training, but we're just trying to get the kinks out, trying to get the cobs out in terms of handling the ball.
Where does one
very technical, that kind of thing.
Where does one sign up to get individual training?
Give me a call, Michael, anytime. Give me a call. We got 8 new guys, 17 total players. 2 seniors, Richie Dietrich and Pellegrin Vargas.
So we got really had a great summer.
Yeah, he has. He's played a lot of international competition. He's down at the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru. He just came back from Canada at the Norseca Games. He's done an unbelievable events this summer. Tomas Gago down in South America. He was in Peru as well. He was at the Pan Am Games. Now he's at the Copa down in South America. So a lot of international experience by those two, and we have the core of our team back, so that'll be good.
When we get together in 2 weeks, you've got to tell those that are watching on the broadcast tonight about your little trip to Italy.
Viva Italia. Magnifico. Michael, say magnifico.
We'll learn more in 2 weeks. Remter with the serve at 21-19. Katie Crow off the top. Look out! I thought Hannah Holbrook was going to run into both of us. Huge point for Purdue Fort Wayne out of the timeout. Now trailing 21-20. Katie Crow, who has 21 kills and 14 digs tonight, now has a second service ace. We're tied at 21.
Huge ace. Michaela Wright that time did not use her feet to pass the ball. The jump float serve working to perfection that time.
Wright receives the serve, which hit the net. Oh, what a block. Gonzalez in first on the left side. And now it's Purdue Fort Wayne on top, 22-21. And IUPUI calls the timeout.
Allie Polk, the freshman block. She tried to take that ball cross court. Very interesting set selection that time. Why not go out to Michaela Wright? I don't know, on the left side. Just because she got ace the point before, not a good reason to not set your best player in crunch time.
Well, this is almost the point of no return. You're up 22-21, but you're down 2-1, and you got to keep the pedal to the metal.
Well, it all starts with the good quality serving of Katie Crow. That's for one. And number 2 is now you got to make the defensive assignment. I would assume that blockers are going to shift towards Wright, who's here on the left side. So the right side blocker will get in front of her. The middle's probably going to cheat this way as well. But if you Purdue Fort Wayne, you got to be careful. The setter might be able to tip a ball maybe on the floor or throw one over on 2. They may run some middle, but you got to be able to gamble here in this situation if you're Purdue Fort Wayne, thinking that Michaela Wright, the best player on the floor, will see this ball out of the timeout.
I'm looking at some of the notes that Aaron Johnson puts together for us. And one note, keep in the back of your mind, when the Mastodons are at SIU Edwardsville, and they will play a match against Central Arkansas, that'll be the 1,500th match in women's volleyball history here at the school. And over 42 years, they've won 64% of their matches.
Wow.
But they are trailing in this match 2-1, up 22-21 in the fourth over IUPUI. Michaela Wright over a double block.
See, that's the point too late. I mean, everybody in the whole world knew it was coming out of a timeout. You had to set that beforehand.
23-21. Katie Crow continues to serve for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Now where do you go? Ooh, that serve close to the line.
Really? Deep shot by Haley Hoffman. Her 8th kill of the night.
A lot of predictability when it comes to setting. Got to be able to have variety. Keep your defense guessing. That's a smart set choice there to go right in the middle. Easy tap down.
Allison Cook off the bench to serve. This is the biggest point of the match for Purdue Fort Wayne. Win it and you're serving first, fourth set. Lose it and the set is tied. Worcester? Oh, what a block by Hoffman.
Michaela Wright and Hoffman there together on Worcester.
We're tied at 23. Set 4. IUPUI up 2-1. Allison Cook again to serve. Maddie Gates will set up Liz first for a touch shot. Diving dig by Cook. Right. Oh, Worcester, bad set. Double hit. And now IUPUI has a match point at 24-23.
Errors down the stretch again for the Mastodons. The stuff block to Worcester. The throw by Maddie Gates sets up match point for the Jaguars.
Allison Cook with the serve. Maddie Gates will go to the right for Worcester. Is it wide? Is it touch?
Ball's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. And this match is over. Wow. And IUPUI comes up with the win. They win this fourth set 25-23. They win the match 3-1, 25-20, 17-25, 27-25, and 25-23. IUPUI now 2-4 on the year, and Purdue Fort Wayne drops to 2-5. And I'm in a little bit of shock just in the sense that Mastodons had chances. They were ahead in all 3 sets that they lost, and they were ahead late in each of those sets and couldn't seal the deal.
They made errors. They could not seal the deal, Michael. That's absolutely correct. They do not know how to win yet as a team, and their serve receive really struggled, Michael. That was the big disappointing factor. That caused a lot of issues for them offensively. I know Katie Crow's numbers are very, very good. Look at the number of things she had, but it all comes down to errors.
Well, the teams congratulated each other at the net. Mastodon's huddling up to our left. We will take a quick break. When we come back, our post-match show, and we'll attempt to chat with head coach Steve Florio. Again, it is IUPUI that comes up from Indianapolis to win this match 3-1. And our post-match show will get underway momentarily, but from Arnie Ball Court, this is Purdue Fort Wayne women's volleyball on YouTube.
Trailways of Fort Wayne is proud to be the official carrier of the IPFW Mastodons. Excursions offers a fleet of luxury motor coaches ready to take you and your group to the destination of your choosing. You'll appreciate their quality and service from the beginning to the end of your trip. Give Excursions Trailways a call at 485-6167 for your next group or company trip. Excursions Trailways, the destination is yours. The official carrier of IPFW Mastodon Athletics.
In its 4th decade, the Summit League continues its ascent through excellence in the classroom and success in the field of play. In cities big and small, at public and private universities, more than 120,000 students across 9 institutions reach for the summit. From academic All-Americans to NCAA champions and nationally ranked teams, Summit League student athletes achieve the pinnacle of success. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Arnie Ball Court. Tough loss for the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons tonight. They lose in 4 sets to IUPUI, and graciously joining us is head coach Steve Florio. And a tough one, Steve. There were opportunities in all 4 sets tonight, and it just didn't happen for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Yeah, we weren't efficient. We didn't execute our game plan very well, and we didn't do our jobs very well. And IUPUI, they played really hard, and they served the ball great, and they were a little more efficient than we were. They played a good match.
Well, you lose the opening set 25-20, Coach Florio, and I can at least try to infer in terms of what you're thinking on the sidelines, how you can come out flat in the opening set. And you talked about it with me earlier today and coming back from San Francisco in regards to your serve receive and how you wanted to try and push the needle a little bit more in serve receive. As the match went along, the serve receive broke down for you, and you talked about efficiency. The opening set, you hit a blazing like 270, something along those lines. Then it became a pin-oriented contest because you couldn't pass the ball. Is there anything specific that you saw, aside from the fact that IUPUI did serve the ball very, very well late in games 1 and 2 and 3, that really prohibited your passers from being able to handle that first contact?
We just have to keep working on that skill, you know. I mean, I obviously we didn't pass very well, in my opinion, and you're right about that. I didn't think IUPUI passed very well either. Mm-hmm. What the difference was, IUPUI handled the ball out of system a lot better than we did, and we're more efficient with the out of system attack than we were. We were sloppy. Sloppy is an understatement.
And down the stretch of sets 3 and sets 4. Set 4, 3 errors in a row with the lead, a stuff block, 2 attack errors. Set 3, the exact same thing. You were up, you end up making the errors down the stretch. I made the comment is that your team is still looking for its identity, that you're still trying, because it's still a relatively young team. Still a lot of turnover in a lot of places. Is this team still in search of its identification? And on top of that, is it still learning how to win?
I think they need to learn how to play like a team. I think we can't rely on any one player, and we have a lot of players trying to be the player. And we don't need anyone to be the player. We have enough tools. So that's what we're trying to figure out. They have to learn that it's a team sport.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, there were a few bright spots tonight. Katie Crow had a double-double with 21 kills and 14 digs and 2 service aces. And your freshman, Maddie Nell, came off the bench and had 24 assists from the setter spot. Maddie Gates had 21. And Sandra Huvel's had 1 solo block and 8 block assists.
Yeah, we did good things in spurts, but we're not consistent. That's the problem. You got to be consistent in a sport like volleyball.
Can you talk about the play of your libero, Rachel Crucius? I think she was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, her defensive positioning, how she makes great reads. Can you talk a little bit about her performance?
Yeah, she's got a lot of natural talent, and she's learning our systems still, and she's a type of digger that can read well, so she's a digger that doesn't necessarily always have to be in the system. And so it's just her learning just a little bit more about this level of volleyball. But her natural instincts are great, and she's got a bright future with us.
Maddie Worcester did not have a very strong offensive performance this evening. You talked about the offensive inefficiencies. Is there a capability of a secondary player outside of the 20-plus kills that Katie Crow had that you can see, especially when you're not being able to handle the ball very, very well, that you can say, listen, we need to have this as our secondary scorer?
We had that. We just didn't use it.
Okay.
That's my frustration.
Okay.
You're not at home very long. You go back on the road this weekend. You go down to Evansville, and you got 3 quality opponents. You're going to play Evansville on Friday and then a couple of matches on Saturday. What will be the main point of emphasis in preparation for that tournament this weekend for the next couple of days of practice?
Everything we just talked about. We're focused on us, and we got to learn to play as a team.
Hopefully things will work out better. We appreciate you spending time with us here tonight.
Yep.
Safe travels to Evansville.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Head coach Steve Florio and his thoughts and on this match. And Rock will look at the monitor to try to get the final numbers since we don't have it, the paperwork yet. What we can tell you is, whoops, where did we go? Timeout. There we go. Kills ended up even at 55. Assist even at 53. Diggs favored Purdue Fort Wayne 69-66. Total blocks favored the Mastodons 10-5. You look at those things. Service aces favored IUPUI 7-5. Service errors favored IUPUI 8-5. They also let in solo blocks 3-2. And individually, again, Michaela Wright, the former Concordia cadet, 14 kills, 12 digs, 2 assists, 2 aces, 1 solo block, 2 block assists, playing in front of family and friends. Whoops, that's